I feel like I don't even have to warn about the cats at this point because we just know they're going to be loud, especially if you just watch my channel often. So, you know, the cats are gonna be loud as fuck and there's nothing I can do about it. They're gonna just like start punching each other. Anyways, hello everyone and welcome back. If you're unaware of who I am, I've found the culprit. Hello everyone and welcome back. If you're unaware of who I am Ren and welcome to my channel. Anyways, I decided to switch things up for this week and I wanted to talk about something a little different than what I would normally cover, some things that are like less serious. And as you could probably read from the title, this will be something new that I am trying. I'll only be doing this with lolcows that I feel are actually abhorrent people, and hopefully all of these lessons will be 10 minutes or less so that you don't have to sit through 45 minutes of slotfest, because apparently finding any lolcow related content is very difficult unless you're willing to sit through a 50-minute long fucking documentary. Anywho, with that out of the way, let me introduce you to TOPHIACHU, a lolcow I have followed for a while, and one that probably annoys me more than anything. Tophia Slidell is a 30-year-old homeless woman living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She shares a car with her mother and brother, but it wasn't always like this. In fact, they lived in an apartment at one point with her father, brother, and mother, all sharing a roof over their heads. And while Tophia's father is deserving of a video of his own, I won't be covering him as I've already seen many people cover him in depth and better than what I could do. Tophia herself is the focus of this video, so we will be covering her and her only. While there's much to cover, I'm going to pick one story from each topic so you don't have to sit through like 2 hours worth of me yapping. So enough backstory and let's just jump into it. Tophia is an ableist first and foremost. She believes that the reason her TikToks aren't getting as many views and likes isn't because she has the personality of a rotten apple, but because disabled people are taking away all the attention from the normal people. Her words, not mine.
Now, people who are disabled, people who have a handicap, people who have something wrong with them, not being mean, I have a learning disability, but I think they are they're playing favoritism towards them. If you notice, a lot of these people are getting way more likes than what normal people get, and I feel like they should treat these people like normal people and not special. Everybody should be treated normal or equal, and I feel like people, and it's not TikTok, people who see their videos are liking them because they're disabled.
I personally am an autistic alien with chronic back pain, so fuck you guys, I'm gonna go take likes from the normies, because apparently that's how that works. Tophia has no respect for anyone or anything, not even her own pets. Her dog Hershey, who has since gone missing, has been seen being tossed around, and whenever one of these Slidells gets near, she starts growling and tensing up, and like you can just see like the hairs on her back stand up. It's pretty weird. The gracious Slidells even fostered a kitten, which is a lie because they were never registered fosters to begin with. The kitten has since been removed from their care because of this fact, but in the brief period of time when they like had this kitten and cared for this cat, you could always hear it screaming, and I mean screaming, for food because it was so fucking hungry and they wouldn't feed it. If you're sensitive to animals that are obviously in distress, you can skip ahead to this point in the video.
Tophia says she doesn't abuse her dog, then hits TOPHIACHU with a hairbrush.
I think
As someone who is a bit of a degenerate online, I can say that I don't even compare to Tophia, because while I may make a joke or goof off about getting a cartoon man pregnant, Tophia actually fetishizes Asian men online. And I mean there's hundreds of videos of her duetting with Asian men and just being a freak of nature in their duets. I've had the displeasure of coming across these against my own will, so now I'm going to share them with you guys because sharing is caring.
Parker finer than a motherfucker. I knocked the dust off that pussy. Hi, Miss Parker.
Hi, boy.
We gonna let me fuck Miss Parker?
You say, honey?
Huh? Nothing.
Brief note, she also follows accounts on Instagram that fetishize gay men and has been caught watching gay porn in her browser history, so. Adding on to that corn history, she's been caught watching some very strange genres, like a genre called Asian teen. And while I guess you could argue that it's not actual teens, it's still concerning because genres like that are innately problematic and weird in my opinion. Why are you, as a grown-ass adult, watching a genre meant to emulate those who are still in high school or barely legal? It's giving grown-ass men watching the genre schoolgirl. It's gross, it's fetishy, and I am unsure why it even exists. And before anyone cries that it's just a genre, again, it doesn't matter because it's meant to emulate something that isn't legal. I could not give two shits if the actors are of age. It's the intent behind the genre. However, what is inexcusable is her love for anime, men-on-men, non-con material. Yep, you heard me. Straight up non-con material. So do with that what you will. This is actually how I found out about Tophia. Her racism. My introduction to her was a clip of her live stream where she says she doesn't consider herself a burnt color.
Anybody that wants to post a video saying that I'm racist towards black people and I'm black, that's not racism. I don't consider myself a burnt color. Okay?
And she has said many more racist things. Things that would take this video from 10 minutes to an hour. Tophia is known for going on her live stream. Can you stop clawing? That's my ass. I think the incident that sums this segment up the most is the fact that Tophia was getting evicted from her apartment and set up a GoFundMe to pay the missing rent because her father, who was in charge of all of her finances, even though he is very obviously mentally ill, he stopped paying the rent, I guess, over COVID, and it piled up. They owed like almost $3,000 worth of rent money. So Tophia took it upon herself to set up a GoFundMe to get the money to pay the rent so that they could still live in the apartment and not get evicted. And I believe she raises enough to pay her rent, only to not pay the rent and take a trip to Comic-Con. You heard that right. She didn't pay to keep her apartment for her and her family so that they could have a place to live. She paid for Comic-Con. She also has been caught e-begging multiple times to DoorDash food to her motel because forget saving up money for a permanent place of residence, DoorDash takes up all importance. And the reason she was able to DoorDash food to an address is because that they were living in a motel. And speaking of a motel, Tophia was recently kicked out of her motel because it was fucking disgusting. There was literal shit caked into the walls in the bathroom, and the mattresses they slept on had to be completely thrown out because they were covered in piss. There was also garbage literally everywhere. This saga was actually so much longer, so for longevity's sake, I will leave it at that. If you want to know more about the motel situation, the housekeeper is on TikTok. Just search Tophia Squid and you'll probably find her. Also, relating to the disgusting state of her room, Tophia is stinky. She got fired from her first and only ever job at Dunkin' because she smelled rank. And if stubble chew isn't an indicator of her bad hygiene, I'm sure the state of her skin and teeth in this video is a great indication of her personal hygiene.
Boneless Tofuba is sitting in a car already talking about going to comic.
She also admitted that she only wipes when she pisses, so yeah. Okay, on to the next segment. Lazy. Tophia is so fucking lazy. Tophia is very lazy. As mentioned before, Tophia has only had one job in her life ever, and it was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and again she got fired for poor hygiene because she's stanky. But she refuses to get another job at all, and she's currently living in a car, refusing to get a job, so you know, that's a thing too. She says that she's going to be an influencer. I want to give a brief trigger warning for this last segment as it does involve SA, and if you're uncomfortable with hearing about that, you can go ahead and skip to this point in the video. Tophia has been caught victim blaming who I believe is her brother's ex-girlfriend about her SA, and even said at one point she could obviously tell the ex-girlfriend was enjoying it.
I'm sorry, I did not want to see that video of her. Clearly looked like you enjoyed it.
While Tophia has so much more lore, I wanted to keep these videos brief because it is a brief introduction to these locales. Tophia is in a league of her own when it comes to being a bad person. I'm sure you can find many documentaries about her and everything she's done wrong as a whole, but I just want this series to be short and digestible for the non-permanently online individuals who don't have an hour of their time to waste on a locale doc. If you would like to read up on Tophia yourself, you can click the link in the description to find the Reddit thread that I got my information from. It's brief and goes over everything the Slidells, as a family, have done. Anyways, if you would like to support me and my channel, you can subscribe, as only 5% of my viewers are subscribed. And if you would like to buy my next biggie bag from Wendy's, you can become a channel member. Anyways, I'm Ren, tired, and thank you so much for watching.